Star Wars 7x7, episode 1858. Today, The Mandalorian, The Rise of Skywalker, and Vader Immortal. What we're going to be learning about at D23 Expo. More details have been revealed. Let's go. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I'm back in the studio in New Hampshire. Yeah, I didn't make a big fuss about it, but you might have noticed actually that I have been on vacation with the family and actually got to record episodes in advance, so I got to enjoy vacation with the family, which doesn't always happen. This is an annual gathering with family, cousins, and whatnot that happens. And I've actually had to do episodes live for the event, during the event happening. I've had to do recordings on the fly in Massachusetts, but nope, this time it was something that I was able to record in advance, get it all done, and yeah, be able to actually take some time off, which was really wonderful and resting, relaxing, all that good stuff. Restful, I think is the word I was looking for, but anyway, of course there were things that happened during the week that I was gone, but, not a heck of a lot, actually. It was a good time to take a vacation, as it turns out. Not that it had anything to do with me or the timing. It's just, this is a good time. But the news that really came out, more than anything else, has to do with more details about the D23 Expo happening later this month in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center. And that's actually, Friday, August 23rd, 24th Saturday, and 25th Sunday. So for a start, The Mandalorian seems, unfortunately, to not be getting as large of a showcase as had been previously suggested. In a previous announcement, it was said that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau would be doing a panel on The Mandalorian, and it was supposed to take place at 3:30 p.m. on Friday. Well, it turns out that this is actually part of a Disney Plus First Look Experience panel, and that whole panel is happening from 3:30 to 5 p.m. So Favreau and Filoni and The Mandalorian special guests are just one piece of this action, and there's obviously a lot more new Disney Plus content that's happening on launch day that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Star Wars. So, unfortunately, not as much Mandalorian stuff, but apparently there is going to be still footage that's shown exclusively to D23 Expo participants and attendees that we will not get to see from here. There is supposed to be some streaming happening, but it doesn't sound like they're going to include remote viewers in that special content, at least not yet. Bigger news, however, is coming out of ILM X Lab. They announced on Thursday that there will be a Vader Immortal Episode 2 panel at D23, and they have it all to themselves. And so director Ben Snow is going to be there, senior experience designer Jose Perez III will be there, and also Lucasfilm Story Group's creative executive Matt Martin will be on the panel too. They will be providing an in-depth look at the making of Episode 2, and also apparently giving an exclusive preview to attendees as well. And the way the press release reads on this one, it sounds like it's going to be more in-depth than what happened at San Diego Comic-Con. It's not just going to be 3 pieces of concept art that are shown. No, it sounds like they're going to get a little bit more detailed with this thing, which sounds pretty exciting, and I'm looking into it to see if I can learn more about it myself. So potentially more details to come. And then there is a Disney Plus Pavilion that has just been announced. So everybody who's at D23 is going to get to check out the programming, or at least little snippets and previews of the programming that will be launching on Disney Plus in November. But in addition to that, there is supposed to be a display of costumes and props from original Disney Plus content. They didn't say specifically that they would have costumes and props from The Mandalorian, but just the general statement of, you can see the exclusive costumes and props from original Disney Plus shows. Well, that would seem to indicate that there's going to be some Mandalorian stuff previewing there also. Last but not least, there has been one announcement made, which, in retrospect, it was something that we should have been looking for. I should have been looking for because they did it last time they did D23 in 2017, and they finally made the announcement about it, and I will tell you what that specific thing is after the break. Stay tuned. This episode is brought to you by Constant Contact, the premier email marketing solution for small businesses and organizations. I've used their service since 2003, and over the past decade and a half, I've watched them evolve, make the product simpler, more powerful, easy to use, and do everything that they can to help train people to use the product more effectively and for it to work with other forms of marketing like social media, for example. So check out sw7x7.com/email to learn more about Constant Contact and start a free trial. Once again, that is sw7x7.com/email for a free trial. Welcome back. So on Saturday morning at the D23 Expo, that's when the Walt Disney Studios panel takes place. And if you don't remember this panel or our discussions of it from the D23 Expo in 2017, this is the panel where they show highlights and details from the upcoming slate of Disney films. So that's Disney live action, Disney animation, Pixar and Marvel, and of course, Star Wars. So that means that the Rise of Skywalker is going to have a presence in this panel, and it will probably be in the form of footage from the movie, possibly behind the scenes footage, possibly actual images from the movie. If so, based on past history, it's going to be very context free and without dialogue at the very least, right? But what it will actually be of is probably not going to give anything away. It's certainly not going to be whatever this alleged mind-melting last shot of the movie is going to be. No, it's just going to be a couple of quick hit images that are absolutely going to be enough to spark interest and attention and conversation, but probably nothing earth-shattering necessarily. And so there you go. That's all the news that's fit to print right now for the D23 Expo. It's nice to know that there were some developments at least while I was away, but nothing too heavy, right? So we could just run it down real quick here on the show for you. And obviously I'll be keeping track of it and keeping track of what happens when it actually breaks. But for now, that is going to do it for today's episode of the show. Thank you so much for joining me for it, as always. And may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
This podcast is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other related Star Wars items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2019 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.